I am on my way to Africa, the motherland, and I am flying Ethiopian Airlines for the second time in a row. Why, you might ask? Especially after the last controversial video that I published on my channel about Ethiopians saying, "I'm not black, I'm Ethiopian." Let me ask you this question. Do you identify as black or as Ethiopian?
Definitely Ethiopian.
Definitely Ethiopian. You Ethiopian first, and then, like, you don't consider yourself black at all?
No, never. I've never considered myself as a black.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Valentina, nicknamed the African Dominican. As you all know, I'm a proud African with roots in Angola and Namibia. I was raised in the diaspora in England and the USA. With that said, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for your love and support. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do you consider yourself black or Ethiopian? How do you identify?
Well, black is a concept. It's a made-up construct. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
Because I'm not black. I'm
Right.
brown.
Right.
So they use the color black to categorize us and tell us how to live, how to talk, how to exist. But I choose to identify with being Ethiopian.
Nice.
But that's a choice because I can choose to identify with whatever I want.
Right. On that video, many people accused Ethiopians of not being proud Africans and that they are ashamed of being black. Well, I'll address those comments later in this video. Ethiopian Airlines prides itself as being the new spirit of Africa. So, should black people traveling to Africa prioritize traveling with Ethiopian Airlines to show solidarity and love for Africa? Let us know by leaving your comments below. South African Airways used to be my favorite airline to fly from the USA to Africa, but it is no longer in service. I believe the pandemic took it out of business, unfortunately. Ethiopian Airlines is now the only major African airline that flies internationally. My check-in experience was actually nice. I had so much luggage. People actually thought I was moving back to Africa for good. But good thing I wasn't charged extra for being overweight with my luggage. Thanks to Ethiopian Airlines for saving me a lot of money in overweight charges. Great customer service there. Overall, my check-in was fine. I didn't have any issues. I actually felt that African love from the Ethiopian customer service reps during my check-in. They were really professional about it and they were nice, very friendly as well. This was my first time traveling back to Africa since 2017. So the last time I flew to Africa in 2017, I actually flew with Ethiopian Airlines as well. That was my first time flying with them and I also had a great experience. I finally took my seat and was comfortable. The food was okay, not the best, but it was okay. I think they fed us rather too much. I feel like I was eating every hour I was eating something, which is nice, but I was sitting down for so long, hardly moving unless I'm going to the toilet, to the bathroom. But it was a comfortable flight, but I think all that eating and drinking Coca-Cola made me put on I felt like I was 10 pounds heavier when I got off that flight. When I finally arrived in Namibia 23 hours later, I actually felt like I was heavier because I ate so much on the plane and I was not moving as much. And I actually broke my intermittent fasting while on the plane. I've been fasting, I've been intermittent fasting for since July 1st, and I was really doing great on my weight loss journey. I had actually achieved my goal, but I had to break my fast as soon as I got on that plane because I just couldn't, my timing was going to be out of work. Plus I was on vacation anyway, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll break it for the next 30 days and then I'll get back on my fasting when I get back to the USA. The TVs were working just fine on our way to Africa. We didn't have any issue. It was actually a great experience. I was constantly checking to see where we were in the air and how far we are from our destination, watching TV and getting some work done on my laptop. But coming back though, the TVs were not working as good because I saw a few TVs out, like passengers actually complaining about TVs being out and not working. So I hope Ethiopian Airlines can, resolve that issue, because going to Africa, there were no issues. It was a perfect flight. But coming back, I feel like customer service was not as good, and TVs were not working, were broken. But the food was great, though. The food was much better coming back from Africa compared to when we're going to Africa. So I don't know if it's because of the African organic food, but the food was definitely great coming back than going. So should Africans and black people in general prioritize flying with Ethiopian Airlines? Personally, I think so. Supporting black or African business is always a good thing. Don't you agree? But personally, I flew Ethiopian Airlines because it was cheaper. It was the cheaper options out of all the other airlines that I could pick from. I spent a little over $3,000 for our family tickets. Yeah, flying to Africa is very expensive, guys. If you get a ticket for $1,000, or if you get a ticket for under $1,500 that's a good ticket. But average ticket is like $2,000 and up per person. But I think I got a good deal for our tickets for our family, $3,000 and that. Yeah, it's very expensive to go to Africa. And of course, when you get to Africa, still gotta spend money, and you can't go empty-handed. I was carrying all that luggage, and most of that stuff was for other people. So you can't go to Africa empty-handed. You gotta take like gifts, you gotta take stuff for people, for your family. And then when you get this, you gotta spend money. So yeah, so to make this trip, you have to save up and really, really be prepared to spend at least more than $5,000 while in Africa, and then the other $3,000 plus to fly there if you are flying as a family. And when you get there, you can spend more money, like I said, at least $5,000. So I think to go to Africa, per person, at least you need to budget maybe like $5,000 per person if you're going by yourself. But as a family, you need to budget more. And of course, that's it depends on what kind of time you want to have in Africa. If you want to be going around the place, or if you want to be building stuff, if you want to be doing like many different things, yeah, make sure you have enough money. But also, you don't have to have that much money to go. You can just find a cheap ticket, hopefully something like under $1,500 US, and then a few dollars to spend here and there. If you want to live on a low, yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be, but it depends on what kind of expense you want to have in Africa. But whatever money you spend is always worth it, because eventually money comes back anyway. My motto in life is the money comes and goes. If it comes, you spend it, and it's gonna come again. The more you try to hold on to money, the more it never comes to you. So I always believe that. But the more you are, like flexible with money, the more you are easygoing with money, the more money comes to you. But I'm not saying don't be careless with money, though. The more you spend money wisely and generously, it comes back to you. The more you waste money, spend it unnecessarily on nonsense stuff, the more you keep losing that money. And the more you hold on to money because you've been stingy and cheap and all kind of nonsense, and the more you will never have money. So I fly Ethiopian Airlines because, it's a good option to go to Africa. As an African airline, it's cheaper. So far, it's been cheap so far, and I like it. I feel like I'm really going home to Africa when I fly Ethiopian Airlines, or when I fly an African airline from the US going to Africa. I feel like I'm really going home, with my peoples. It just feels different. On the issue of I'm not black, I'm Ethiopian. Well, Africans generally don't describe themselves by their skin color or as black unless they live outside of Africa, or unless they are asked to specifically identify themselves by their race. In Africa, Africans identify first by their tribe on a local level, then by their nationality on an international level, and then by their skin color on an American level. It seems like only Americans insist that people reduce their identity to the color of their skin. Your skin color doesn't say much about who you are as a person. Your tribe, your culture, your nationality accurately defines who you are as a person and gives you a true identity, not your skin color. If you don't know your identity and can't accurately define who you are as a person, then you clearly don't know who you are. You are more than your skin color. There is nothing wrong with being called black per se, but who called black people black in the first place? Yeah, who called black people black in the first place? Can you answer that? Yeah, white people called black people black. Black people didn't call themselves black at first. We didn't know we were black. We just knew we were a certain tribe or a certain nationality or culture. But the white men came and called us black. And why did the white people call black people black? And why did they name Africa black or the dark continent? Black people didn't name Africa the dark continent. White people did. Think about that. So do you think white people calling you black was a compliment? Do you think white people calling Africa black was a compliment? Do you think white people calling Africa the dark continent was a compliment? We didn't call ourselves that. We didn't call Africa that. They did. Is being called black synonym to being called the N-word or the K-word? K-word meaning kafar in Afrikaans, which is a derogatory term for black people. So is being called black synonym to those derogatory black words like the N-word and the kafar? I think so. So should quote-unquote black people who are not even really black, the skin color of so-called black people is not even black. If you put a black color, an actual black color next to a black person, quote-unquote black person, the colors won't match. Alright? The blackest people are probably only found in South Sudan, not anywhere else. So should quote-unquote black people stop identifying as black, or you don't think it's a big deal to identify as black? I think people of African heritage should be allowed to choose how to identify without a backlash, because it's complicated simply identifying as black. There's different levels to these guys. Just something to think about. And yes, Ethiopia means bent face in Greek. Bent means black. Ethiopia might be a derogatory name the Greeks came up with. Bent could also mean dirt or dirty, and the black color is commonly used to describe something that's dirty or undesirable. Anyway, no matter the argument, black is beautiful, Africa is beautiful. It's nothing to be ashamed about as a race, but be mindful of why some people call you what they call you, and decide if you are okay with them insisting that they call you that. There's power in what you choose and decide to be called. I hope you have enjoyed this video and found it quite interesting. Please share your thoughts below in the comment area, and please do travel to Africa. Africa is beautiful, Africa is the motherland, and Africa is the future, okay? I also hope that you will fly Ethiopian Airlines. Ethiopians are proud Africans who did a lot for other African countries, especially during the liberation struggle for independence. Ethiopia is indeed the pillar of Africa. I have had nothing but warm and wonderful experiences with my fellow brothers and sisters from Ethiopia. I believe that Ethiopians are wonderful and beautiful people who are proud to be Africans. Stay tuned for more videos on my recent trip to Africa. I was in Africa for 30 days and had the best time of my life. I can't wait to go back. Don't forget to leave your comment below, like and share, alright? And thank you so much for your love and support. To all my people of African heritage, please let's embrace our Africanness. Africa is beautiful. You are beautiful. Let's just be kind to one another. To my non-African heritage people, you are loved. You are welcome here anytime. And God bless.